Under the Red Cross, what the Knights Templar hid from the world. Beneath the Red Cross, a secret was sealed. A pact between faith, blood, and power forged a legacy that the Church never wanted the world to uncover. On the battlefields of the Holy Land, among raised swords and burning devotion, a brotherhood was born, one that defied empires, kings, and even the Vatican itself. The Knights Templar, sacred warriors sworn to protect the Holy Land, grew beyond soldiers of faith. They became keepers of wealth, influence, and mysteries that still defy the boundaries of human understanding. What were they truly guarding? Why does their symbol, the Red Cross on a white cloak, still provoke fear and fascination centuries after their downfall? Behind ruined castles and forgotten crypts lie lost manuscripts, forbidden rituals, and a truth so powerful it could shake the very foundations of Christianity. The Templars did not hide mere gold. They concealed something that could redefine humanity's understanding of God, power, and destiny itself. This is not just the story of warrior monks. It is the revelation of a conspiracy that has endured through centuries, encrypted in symbols, manuscripts, and secret codes still alive today in silent brotherhoods bound by ancient oaths. And what if I told you? Part of that secret still lives, protected by those who inherited the Templars' mission. Tonight, you will uncover what lies beneath the Red Cross, a symbol of faith and of peril, a seal that carries within it the greatest truth ever concealed, a truth the world was never ready to face. In the shadows of a collapsing empire, when faith and the sword became one, an order arose that would forever alter the fate of mankind. The Knights Templar. They were not mere warriors. They were armed monks, men who believed they fought not for glory but for God. They bore vows of purity, poverty, and obedience, yet beneath those sacred oaths, something far greater was being forged. An empire within an empire, a silent power that grew beneath the Crimson Cross. The Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, their sacred headquarters, would become the epicenter of a journey that would span continents and centuries, leaving behind a trail of mystery, faith, and fear. Over time, the Templars became more than soldiers of faith. They were bankers of kings, guardians of treasures, and mediators between heaven and earth. In their hands flowed the wealth of Christendom. Their fortresses were impenetrable. Their secret routes stretched across seas and deserts, and their symbols became a language of the initiated. But such power inevitably breeds danger and envy. What began as a divine mission soon attracted suspicion, especially from a debt-ridden king and a church whose authority was crumbling. Few knew that while preaching Christ, the Templars unearthed discoveries in the depths of the Holy Land that transcended all known understanding. Ancient manuscripts, mysterious relics, and forbidden knowledge from lost civilizations were gathered in secrecy, guarded by oaths so severe that betrayal meant death. The underground vaults of Solomon's Temple, according to many accounts, hid not only material riches but forbidden knowledge linking the origins of mankind to the divine itself, a truth so immense it could shatter or redefine faith forever. The Red Cross stitched upon the white mantle became more than devotion. It was a seal, a warning, a code that declared the bearer fought for God, but also carried truths humanity was not yet ready to face. As they fought in the Holy Land, the Templars quietly built a secret network of sanctuaries across Europe, fortresses where both their spiritual and physical treasures would remain hidden from their enemies' eyes. But every light casts a shadow, and the Templars' shadow began to loom over the thrones of Europe. When the power of a religious order surpasses that of a king, destiny turns against it. King Philip IV of France, driven by greed and fear, began the hunt. On Friday, October 13, 1307, the world witnessed the beginning of the end. The knights were arrested, their treasures seized, accused of heresy, idolatry, and blasphemy. Yet many believe that before their fall, the order vanished into the shadows, taking with them the Church's most terrifying secrets. Today, centuries later, the Red Cross still appears in mysterious places, on crypts, manuscripts, and even Masonic emblems. And every time it resurfaces, it whispers the same haunting question. What did the Templars truly hide from the world? What lay behind their faith, their science, and their silent dominion that made kings tremble and the Church kneel? The answer remains buried in the ruins of history, waiting to be revealed. Jerusalem, 12th century. The clash of swords echoed like thunder between the sacred walls of the Holy City. Crusaders marched beneath the burning sun, believing they were fulfilling divine will. In this world of blood and faith, 9 knights made a solemn vow before the altar to protect the pilgrims traveling to the Holy Land and to guard the secrets of Solomon's temple. Thus was born the Order of the Poor Knights of Christ and of the Temple of Solomon, the legendary Templars. Yet behind their pious purpose lay something far deeper. Their chosen headquarters was no coincidence. The ancient Temple of Solomon itself, said to have once held the Ark of the Covenant, the most sacred object in all biblical history. For 7 long years, the 9 knights lived in silence, excavating beneath the temple's foundations. What were they searching for? Official records claim they defended pilgrims, yet no documents mention battles or attacks involving them during that time. Legends, however, tell another story, that deep in the catacombs they found something that was never meant to be discovered. Some say they uncovered ancient texts, possibly older than the Bible itself. Others believe they found remnants of a civilization that understood the mysteries of creation. Whatever the truth, when they resurfaced, they were no longer the same men. Upon returning to Europe, their transformation was immediate. From a forgotten band of knights, they became the most powerful order in Christendom. The Pope granted them unprecedented privileges, exemption from taxes, independence from kings, and the right to build fortresses anywhere in Christian lands. Their fame spread like wildfire. Their symbol, the white mantle bearing the red cross, became synonymous with faith and power. But there was something else in their eyes, a silent flame, a certainty that they knew more than others dared to imagine. And that certainty made them dangerous. The mystery of what they truly found beneath Solomon's temple was never revealed, but many believe that discovery led them to develop rituals, codes, and hidden teachings. Among the initiated, whispers spoke of the lost truth, a knowledge that connected man directly to God, without the need for priests or intermediaries. Such knowledge, if revealed, could have freed mankind from manipulation, spiritual and political alike. And so, it was guarded with absolute secrecy. Their spiritual power grew at an alarming pace. Each knight became not only a soldier, but a keeper of an oath. The red cross they bore symbolized not only Christ's sacrifice, but also the blood of those who dared to touch the divine. They believed they had been chosen to safeguard sacred wisdom until humanity was ready to receive it. This was their mission, born under the light of Jerusalem, a light that guided the pure but blinded the corrupt. Thus, the birth of the Templar Order marked the beginning of a new era, one where faith and secrecy intertwined. What began with 9 men kneeling before God became the most feared and revered force of the medieval world. Their footsteps echoed like prophecy, and what they had unleashed beneath the Red Cross would forever alter the destiny of mankind. Beneath the sacred soil of Jerusalem, where the dust still whispers the names of prophets and kings, the Templars began excavations that would become the darkest and most fascinating chapter of their history. For 7 long years, they remained hidden from the world's gaze, living in complete silence beneath the ancient Temple of Solomon. Official chronicles say nothing of this period, but ancient traditions, secret manuscripts, and later monastic testimonies tell of a discovery that was never meant to be made. Many believe they unearthed documents dating back to the time of Moses, writings that revealed secrets about creation itself and the true name of God. Others claim they found the Ark of the Covenant, not as a lost relic, but as a living source of divine energy, capable of collapsing empires or awakening the hidden consciousness of mankind. According to ancient Jewish and Christian legends, the Temple of Solomon was not merely a religious monument. It was a symbolic portal between the material and the spiritual worlds. It represented the geometric center of the sacred universe, the bridge between heaven and earth. By occupying it, the Templars did not just inherit its holiness, they understood it. It is believed that they studied sacred geometry, the proportions of the temple, and the Hebrew codes describing the harmony of creation. The red cross they bore became the living symbol of that harmony. 4 arms for the earthly elements and the center for the divine spirit that unites them all. When they returned to Europe, they carried with them something far beyond treasure. they carried knowledge. The way they designed their fortresses, the symbolism carved into the Gothic cathedrals they funded, and even the cryptic seals they used, revealed that they possessed wisdom far exceeding that of their age. Elements of astrology, alchemy, numerology, and Eastern mysticism appeared subtly in their traditions. The Templar marks embedded in cathedrals like Notre Dame and Chartres continue to astonish scholars. How could warriors have mastered such advanced architecture based on mathematical precision and hidden symbology? This enigma gave birth to theories that have survived through centuries. Some scholars suggest the Templars inherited the secret science of the ancient Egyptians, the understanding of geometry, sound and vibration as divine forces connecting matter and spirit. Others claim they found evidence of a hidden bloodline, a genealogy linking Christ himself to the descendants of King David. If such knowledge had been revealed, it would have destroyed the very foundation of the medieval church and rewritten the theology of salvation. Thus, silence became their shield. Templar oaths were sealed in blood. To break them was to die. Their initiation ceremonies took place in underground chambers, illuminated only by torches that flickered upon sacred symbols drawn upon the walls. Each initiate was reminded, "He who gazes upon the sacred without purification shall perish." This was the power and peril of the knowledge they held, not to rule, but neither to release without consequence. Thus, the secret of Solomon's temple became the silent soul of the order. Everything they built, the crusades, the banking network, their alliances with monarchs, revolved around protecting what they had found beneath the holy stones. It was not merely faith. It was divine science, hidden power, and eternal mystery bound by one oath. Those who tried to uncover it were hunted, silenced, or vanished from history. Yet the symbols, carvings, and coded traces they left behind still whisper their truth. A truth humanity continues to chase cross by cross, stone by stone. When the Templars emerged from the shadows of Solomon's temple, they were no longer mere knights. They had become architects of a new world order, masters of a network that spanned all of Europe. While kings and popes fought for thrones and crowns, the Templars built something far greater, an invisible empire. They created the first international banking system in history, allowing crusaders, nobles, and merchants to deposit their gold in Paris and withdraw it in Jerusalem. In doing so, they gained control not only over trade routes, but over the very flow of gold and faith itself. Within a generation, they ceased to serve the church, and the church began to serve them. Their fortresses, scattered from Portugal to Syria, were more than military strongholds. They were information centers, watchtowers of power, and nodes of a vast network connecting east and west. Within each fortress lay secret archives, manuscripts, and maps detailing routes unknown to ordinary men. The Templars possessed what kings feared most: knowledge. They knew how to navigate seas, build fortresses, and invest wisely. While thrones relied on swords, the Templars ruled with intellect, yet their discreet power did not go unnoticed. King Philip IV of France realized that his own treasury depended on the Templars. Every campaign, every fortress, every crown jewel was tied to their wealth. When his debts grew unbearable, greed turned to fear, and fear to betrayal. But before their fall, the Templars' reach had already spread through every layer of society. They were advisors to monarchs, navigators, merchants, and scholars. What few knew was that their chapels and commanderies were also gathering places where secret teachings were passed on, preparing successors who would preserve the legacy long after the Order's destruction. Modern historians often describe this system as the first spiritual and economic globalization. And they are right. The Templars designed an administrative model so advanced it would later inspire banks, Masonic lodges, and secret societies that would shape the modern world. Everything they did was calculated. Nothing was left to chance. Faith was their shield, but strategy was their invisible sword. The Red Cross waved not only on banners, but also on contracts, seals, coins, and promises of power. Behind it all lay a doctrine that fused mysticism with pragmatism. The Templars believed the true war was not fought on the battlefield, but within the soul and mind of mankind. While the world saw praying monks, they saw engineers building the future. While the people saw holy warriors, They were constructing a system of finance and power that would make monarchs kneel. This vision turned the order into something beyond religion, a bridge between the divine and the earthly, between God and gold. But the invisible empire of the Templars had one silent enemy: time. As they grew stronger, their power became impossible to conceal. Kings began to fear them, bishops began to doubt them, and the Vatican began to plot against them. What the Templars held was not just wealth, it was control over faith, war, and knowledge. They had built a bridge between worlds, but every bridge can be cut, and the thread holding theirs together was about to snap, setting in motion a conspiracy that would change the destiny of the order forever. The dawn of 1307 carried an omen of betrayal. In the streets of Paris, whispers of power began to twist into conspiracy. King Philip IV of France, known as the Fair, felt his throne threatened by a force no army could conquer: the invisible empire of the Templars. Crushed by debt and desperate for gold, Philip saw in the order not his creditors, but his captors. Their temples, once sanctuaries of faith, had become fortresses of wealth. Thus was born one of the darkest alliances in history, a pact of greed and fear between the crown and the altar. The king needed a reason to destroy them, and he found it in the weapon that ruled the medieval world: faith. With the support of Pope Clement V, a pontiff under his thumb, Philip launched a campaign of lies and accusations that would echo through centuries. Rumors spread that the Templars had betrayed Christ, spat upon the cross, and worshipped a demonic idol called Baphomet. It was a perfect trap. The people, blinded by fear, turned their prayers into torches. The Church's holy warriors became heretics overnight. The greatest crime of the Middle Ages began not with swords, but with words. The Pope, caught between heaven and politics, chose silence over truth. The Vatican knew defying Philip meant risking annihilation. Thus, the Church's silence became the Templars' death sentence. What followed was an act of cruelty disguised as divine justice. On the morning of Friday, October 13, 1307, the Templars' fortresses were stormed simultaneously across France. Hundreds of knights were arrested, tortured, and forced to confess sins they never committed. The tortures were unspeakable. Men of faith were stretched on racks, branded with hot iron, and deprived of food and sleep. The purpose was not to reveal the truth, but to invent one. Confessions forged in agony would become the foundation of the Church's judgment. King Philip, in the name of purity, seized their fortunes, though the legendary Templar treasure was never found. Some say that days before the arrests, loyal knights escaped with the riches, setting sail from La Rochelle into the mist of legend. Their trials were a performance of terror. Flames devoured the faithful as the crowd watched in pious silence. In 1314, Jacques de Molay, the last Grand Master of the Templars, was burned alive. Before the fire consumed him, he turned to the Pope and the King and pronounced a curse that history would never forget. Before a year has passed, you will both answer before God. Within months, both men were dead. The curse was fulfilled, and the legend of the burning cross was born. Yet what truly mattered did not perish in the flames. The Templars' wealth may have vanished, but their wisdom, their forbidden knowledge, survived. Some fled to Scotland, others to Portugal, where the order was reborn under a new name, the Order of Christ. Their rituals and symbols would become the foundation of secret brotherhoods that endured through the centuries, preserving the mystery that kings and popes failed to destroy. Amid the ashes of the Inquisition's fires, something escaped. Not the gold, not the relics, but the greatest legacy the Templars had sworn to protect. The treasure of the temple became a legend whispered through centuries, a blend of faith, mystery, and forbidden knowledge. Many believe it was never about material wealth, but spiritual power, manuscripts, artifacts, and secrets that could rewrite the history of mankind. According to apocryphal records and oral traditions, the treasure was spirited away from Paris before the arrests, loaded onto ships that vanished into the mist from the port of La Rochelle. Since then, one question has haunted the world. What was truly inside those ships? Gold, relics, or something far more dangerous, the truth itself? Some accounts describe sealed scrolls written in Hebrew and Greek, possibly containing lost gospels. documents portraying Christ not as a distant deity, but as a human teacher who left descendants. This possibility gave birth to one of the most controversial theories in religious history, that the Templars had discovered evidence of Christ's bloodline. A truth that, if revealed, would have shattered the foundations of the medieval church, whose authority rested upon the idea that Jesus left no heirs. According to certain esoteric orders and ancient texts, these documents were carried to Scotland and protected by Templar families, who merged with Northern European nobility. This spiritual heritage over time would give rise to the Freemasons, the Rosicrucians, and other secret societies that preserved the Red Cross as a silent emblem. The mark of a brotherhood, still guarding humanity, is hidden history. The treasure then was not gold but legacy, the bridge between man and the divine, between blood and faith, between the story written and the truth buried. The fate of the Templar fleet remains one of history's greatest enigmas. Historians and relic hunters claim that part of it reached Portugal, where the Order of Christ, direct successor of the Templars, built fortresses filled with secret chambers, encoded messages, and geometric symbolism. Others believe the ships reached Scotland and helped construct the Rosslyn Chapel, one of the most enigmatic sites in the world, adorned with carvings blending Christian, alchemical, and mystical motifs. Within its walls, it is said, lie the maps of Templar knowledge and proof of their connection to the Holy Grail. Yet the Grail may not be a cup at all. It may be a metaphor, the vessel not of blood, but of wisdom. The spiritual inheritance of humanity that was divided, hidden, and guarded for centuries. According to Templar legend, he who finds the true Grail will not gain earthly power, but divine understanding, enlightenment, the awakening of God within man. This was the final mission of the Knights, to protect the truth until the world was ready to receive it. Centuries have passed, kingdoms have fallen, yet the echo of the lost treasure still resounds. Every ancient map, every stone carving, every manuscript found in hidden crypts seems to whisper the same revelation. The Templars. Gold was never what glitters, it was what enlightens. And as long as humanity seeks power over wisdom, the true heirs of the temple will remain in the shadows, guarding the only treasure that can either save or destroy mankind, knowledge itself. When the flames devoured the last knights in Paris, many believed the Templar order had perished. But history, like faith, rarely ends in fire. What kings destroyed in body, the Templars preserved in spirit. In the shadows, a new cycle began. Those who escaped fled across borders, hiding beneath new names and symbols. In Portugal, under King Denis, the order was reborn as the Order of Christ. The same hierarchy, the same vows, the same ideals, now veiled under a new banner. And from that hidden seed grew something magnificent, the spiritual rebirth that would ignite the age of discovery, guiding Portuguese sailors beyond known seas in search of divine horizons. The red cross of the temple once again fluttered in the wind, this time on the sails of caravels. The great voyages were not merely quests for wealth, but pilgrimages of destiny. Many believe the Portuguese explorers followed ancient Templar maps, seeking not only new continents, but ancient covenants. The knights had left behind a secret mission to find the place where heaven and earth would meet again, where lost knowledge would reawaken. The new world was not a conquest, it was prophecy fulfilled. Meanwhile, in Europe, the Templar spirit seeped quietly into the foundations of emerging brotherhoods. Freemasonry, centuries later, would inherit much of its symbolism. The compass and square, the pursuit of light, the initiatory rites, the vision of man as a living cathedral. Many scholars affirm that the first Masons considered themselves the spiritual heirs of the temple, guardians of sacred wisdom, preserving it from corruption and sharing it only with the worthy. Thus the Templar flame survived, not as an institution but as an eternal fire carried in the hearts of those who believed truth must be protected, even in silence. The resurrection of the order was not only spiritual but practical. Throughout history, from crusades to revolutions, echoes of the Templar ethos appeared, guiding thinkers, scientists, and visionaries who saw faith and reason not as enemies, but as allies. Their ancient motto, non nobis domine non nobis, sed nomini tuo de gloriam, not to us, O Lord, not to us, but to your name be the glory, became a beacon for those seeking to free mankind from ignorance and tyranny. This is the true Templar inheritance, a faith unafraid of knowledge and knowledge uncorrupted by power. The Templars may have vanished from the surface of history, but not from its soul. Their symbols remain, carved in stone, etched in cathedrals, woven into coats of arms, and whispered in secret halls. In every age, there are those who claim to hear the call of the temple, men and women who rise against deception, oppression, and the misuse of the sacred. The Red Cross, though unseen, still glows for those who seek with pure intent. Today, their legacy survives in the ideals of freedom, courage, and truth. The modern heirs of the temple do not fight with swords, but with enlightenment. They form not an army, but a silent brotherhood that understands true power lies not in gold or crowns, but in wisdom. And as long as injustice and ignorance endure, the flame of the Templars will burn on, waiting for the day when humanity is ready to uncover what has always been hidden beneath the Red Cross. My friend, if this story awakened something in you and faith, curiosity, or courage, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications to join us in uncovering more mysteries of history. Comment, "Under the Red Cross," so I'll know you were part of this brotherhood of seekers. May the light of the temple guide your path. See you in the next video.